Knock this in, 31 pickup right here. Smart! Don't think about our offense. Guard for me, all right? Here we go, 1, 2, 3, down.
Inside Notre Dame Basketball with Mike Brey is presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Team Notre Dame members Gatorade, Under Armour, Coke Zero, and Sprint. Inside Notre Dame Basketball is also sponsored by ATI Physical Therapy, Bank of America, CBTS, Xfinity, Meyer, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.
Hello again, Irish fans, and welcome to this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Basketball with Mike Brey. I'm Jack Nolan, joined as always by the head coach of the Fighting Irish. And coach, I guess we could call this the dog days of the basketball season. You ended one version of 3 games in 7 days with a tough loss at Pitt. You began another stretch of 3 games in 7 days with a bounce-back win against BC.
You're right, Jack. I mean, the Pitt game comes at a tough time after an emotional week, but Pitt played great. I didn't think our energy level was great, but I was very proud of our group bouncing back and having a thorough win against Boston College.
We have a lot of highlights today, and when we come back, we'll take you to the Pete in Pittsburgh, where Mike Brey's squad came up just short of going 5-0 on the road in conference play against a Pittsburgh team that played one of its best games of the year.
This is Jessica. Jessica is driving to the mall, so she's not thinking about tires right now. If she were, she or her parents could go to TireRack.com to find the right tires for her car and get them delivered to an independent recommended installer. But Jessica's not thinking about tires. She's thinking, OMG, if Colt doesn't ask me to the prom, my life is totally over. It's tragical. Tire Rack is a proud sponsor of Street Survival, a hands-on driving experience preparing teens for real roads in the real world.
The Super Bowl. It's one game for all the glory. And Xfinity from Comcast is giving you a seat at every one ever played. Xfinity brings you 30-minute recaps of every Super Bowl on demand. Plus, over 100 hours of coverage the week of Super Bowl 49 on NFL Network. Get the best seat to every Super Bowl when you upgrade to an Xfinity X1 Triple Play with NFL Network. Call today for a great low price. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Call 1-800-XFINITY or go online today.
Sweat. It says I was here. I worked here. It says I only have so much to give before I have to take. What I lose, I want to get back. Sweat says, I earned this. Gatorade, created to help replace what you sweat out.
Coming off a big emotional win over Duke, there's always the concern that you get off to a slow start. It was also a noon game at Pitt, but you got off to a great start.
You know, we did, Jack. I was very concerned about this game. We invested a lot of emotion in Raleigh against State and here home against Duke. But I thought we were ready to go, and we got out of the gate pretty good. But I thought Pitt was really ready to play, probably a backs-against-the-wall game for them. And they got out into an offensive flow that was really hard to deal with. I think it may have been their best offensive night of the season. But we were in a pretty good rhythm offensively, too. It was 2 teams really scoring in the first half, going back and forth. It's one of those basketball games that I think you like to watch because the ball's going in the hole. Here we go in transition right here. We get out a little bit. Demetrius with an early probe. I thought he was fabulous in this game, you know, going and driving and finishing plays around the basket. We clear it out because they have a big guy on Steve Vastoria, and he gets a driving area and scores the ball right there. What a great pass by Bonzie Colson to Pat Connaughton. Bonzie continually becomes a big part of our rotation. Great defense by him there. His length, and how about that quick outlet? You know, that's the thing that I think is lost with Bonzie, is how good a passer he is. How about this movement? This is when we're at our best, when we're moving that ball. Great extra pass to DJ in the corner. Into the low post, and we get good movement off the low post right there. Zach does a great job of passing out. I thought Zach August this year has been really good with the decisions. Steve with a big jump shot there. We run a little set, and Zach has gotten drives out of this set from the high post. With his quickness, he can take big guys off the dribble sometimes. Steve, again, with a nice probe. And how about a pass there? And that's what Pat does. He moves so well without the ball, Jack. Little baseline cut right there. Good movement off of Zach. We start the second half. I don't know if he called bank on that, but we will take that one right there. Vastoria feeling pretty good. And it's a heck of a battle here in the second half. That's a nice set that we run for Demetrius, and I think he's shooting about 60, 70% coming off that thing. Nice probe by him here. How about this play? Boom. Go without it. One of the things we started working on this summer was more cutting, more going without it when you're overplayed. Real good read by Zach August. Demetrius in the second half, Jack, he had a stretch where he is going to the hole and carrying us. Jaren really wasn't in very good rhythm. They defended him. James Robinson did a good job on him. But we go with a small lineup. He gets VJ in a ball screen. And now Jaren starts to wake up at a key time. It's an amazing thing what this young man can do. Be kind of silent offensively maybe for 36 minutes and then go off. Jack, they made every mid-range jump shot. Every mid-range jump shot they made right here. Here's Demetrius again with a big, strong move to the basket. Powerful drive right there. Again, I thought he gave us great stuff. Another good, strong move. That's just great defense by Pittsburgh. And now they're off in transition right here. Great pass. We can't quite get back. And a big finish, and we're in a hole. We're fighting out of a hole. But you know, Jack, we feel we can fight out of a hole because we got this guy right here. That is one tough shot. You know, he gets into his rhythm. Here he goes. He's feeling it. End of game situation, gets it. And here we are after all this, we take the lead. But the thing we couldn't do is get a key stop. I think that's where we were disappointed. We switched this. Pat with pretty good movement. James Robinson with a tough shot. But I think our defense could have been better. Now, after all of that, this is the look we get for the win. I will take that every day because Steve Vastoria is like 2 for 3 on that shot in the last week.
We've seen it before. We will see it again coming up in this show. Now, the final stats show a Notre Dame team that shot 53% for the game, but allowed Pitt to shoot just under 59% in a game that had 10 lead chases, 9 ties. Jaren did not have his best game, really had trouble with a rhythm, but he scored your last 10 points of the game.
He got on that run, and that's, I think, where he is just so brilliant. And I think that's why he's a National Player of the Year candidate, because at crunch time, I don't know if there's a better guy delivering for his team.
So for just the second time in conference play, the Irish had to go into bounce-back mode. We'll show you how they did against Boston College right after this.
Bring in your Verizon or AT&T bill, turn in your old phone, and we'll cut your rate plan in half. Visit us online or visit a Sprint store today.
This is Phyllis. Phyllis is headed to a science conference, so she's not thinking about tires right now. But if she were, all she'd need to know is TireRack.com. She could use their reviews to find the perfect tires for her car and get them shipped to a local recommended installer. But Phyllis isn't thinking about tires. Phyllis is thinking, I'm not really sure, but it's probably important. TireRack.com. Find, deliver, install.
You have always emphasized to your teams that the real key to a good conference season is how you bounce back from a loss. And boy, those first 15 minutes of BC, one of the best bounce backs I've ever seen.
We got out of the gate really great, Jack, and I was really proud of our group. We needed some rest on Super Bowl Sunday after a grueling week, but that put us in a position to have 2 good days of practice, which we haven't had 2 in a row with a busy schedule. But the stuff we were doing offensively to start the game, I think was just beautiful basketball. I have a new theme for our offense, poetry in motion, Jack. Poetry in motion.
Was in this game.
Feed. Nice post feed to Zach right there. We probe again. Great decision by D to just knock it over to Pat there for a 3 in the corner. Good spacing. You know, can't leave your feet to make a pass. You know, D still learning as a young guard, but how this play by Jaron's presence of mind to come up with that, and we get an easy one right there. Really good skip pass, and we continue to do that. You know, that's a pretty confident offensive guy. Little jab step, stick the jump shot right in your face. What a great read off the ball screen by Jaron, and it sets Pat up for a nice drive, but our spacing was so good there. It was hard to chase us down. We had the floor spread. He's feeling pretty good when the step back's going in. When he's taking the step back, he's feeling good. I thought Jaron really bounced back. He had a tough start. Bonzie Colson again, confident young man. To pull up and take that right there, he's feeling pretty good about himself. Continues to get better and continues to have a presence defensively there. Great outlet by him right there. And then you get Jaron off in transition, and we usually do find people. Steve with a big jump shot in the corner after great early offense. How about this move by Steve? And I think he can do this more. We want him to drive and probe and look to score and look to get fouled. Great help right there. Big rebound by Z. We're off in transition again. Look at our spacing in transition. We do a good job spacing the floor. Again, it was step back night in Purcell Pavilion, and he's feeling pretty good about it. I thought he bounced back really well. Ball screen for Jaron. Slip of the ball screen. Great read, but our spacing's so good, you can't help because we've got shooters around the perimeter. Hanlon is a talented and gifted offensive guy, and he gets going a little bit. Demetrius at the end of the half, don't get it. Probably maybe should have held a little longer because then it gives them time to do this. And, you know, it's one of those where, okay, that goes in. You're probably going to be in for a little bit of a dogfight in the second half. Low post feed here. Great skip pass. How about that? And again, the passing by Zach from inside out has really been good for us. They go zone one possession. We move it well, and Steve sticks a jump shot right there. Nice challenge of a jump shot there. But now it's a scramble mode, and Hanlon feels good, and Hanlon gets on a run that makes this thing very interesting. I like this read right there. We kind of turn the corner. They make a great defensive play, and here we go. It's Hanlon time. He's feeling it. He's making threes. This is a tough set to guard. They fade him. It's not a bad challenge over there. He falls down, still knocks it in, and now we got some game pressure on us. But boy, does this guy make big shots with game pressure on him. That old right corner, pretty good. I like what we do here against full court pressure. We throw it long, we get a dunk on it, and we escape. Some game pressure on us in the second half. We escape. We've got to play them again. But when you have someone like Hanlon, they can beat anybody when he gets going.
The final stats show an Irish team that shot 50% from the floor for the 17th time in 24 games this season and 5th time in ACC play. The Irish also hit 10 threes, 7 in the first half, and held BC to just 39% from the floor in the first half while building that 25-point lead. And again, you knew BC was going to come back. This is a huge rivalry, huge for them as well. And they did battle, but you win by 8. Maintaining a giant lead sometimes is even harder than building a giant lead.
You know, it is. And, you know, I think maybe we did get distracted a little bit. But I certainly wasn't going to step on their throats on Wednesday night because I needed to step on their throats Thursday.
When we come back, we'll take a look at what the Irish players had to say after their victory over the Eagles. I have had the honor of traveling with the Notre Dame basketball team for more than 30 years. I have never heard a quieter bus than the one that took the Notre Dame team back to the Pittsburgh airport after the team's loss to the Panthers. It was already clear at that moment that the Irish were determined to bounce back quickly against Boston College, and as you saw in our last segment, the team did just that.
Anytime you lose, you know, you're going to come out with a lot of fire, and anytime you get a win, it's a good feeling, and you know, we knew it was going to be a tough battle, and I think we did a lot of good things tonight, so it was good to get a win.
You know, it was a great another great day for us to get out in the gym and play up and down. You know, it was a great comeback for us. You know, after the loss we had at Pitt, you know, we just wanted to get out there and play our game. You know, kind of put a footprint on BC. You know, kind of come out and blow them out a little bit, but they came back. But other than that, I think we're just ready to go out there and play.
You joked in the last segment about not stepping on their throats after the BC game. I mean, any win in conference play is a big win, but your players, you didn't have to step on their throats because they were mad at themselves.
Yeah, no, I think the bar for them is very high. I mean, we have the kind of group, and we've had the kind of kids here that they're their own worst critics, and they're hard on themselves. So my job, you know, a lot of times isn't to beat them down anymore. It's to kind of teach and build them back up and get them confident again for the next battle.
For this week's ATI Physical Therapy Play of the Week, we return to the Boston College game and the three-point bucket by Steve Vastoria that finally derailed a terrific comeback by BC. It's also a shot that will give all Irish fans a distinct sense of deja vu.
Vastoria with the basketball to Grant. Grant to the left of the top of the key. Grant over to Connaughton in the corner. Vastoria for three. Got it! That's his favorite big-time spot. Same place he hit it from against Duke, and he had a shot against Pitt from the same place. But that is a big shot by the Irish, 67-58.
Before earning enough cash back from Bank of America to help pay for her kids' ice time. Before earning 1% cash back everywhere, every time.
Close the front door!
And 2% back at the grocery store. Even before she got 3% back on gas. All with no hoops to jump through. Katie used her Bank Americard Cash Rewards credit card to stay warm and toasty during the heat of competition. That's the comfort of rewarding connections. Apply online or at a Bank of America near you.
Gunderman Group.
Gunderman Group is growing.
Getting in a groove.
Growth is gratifying.
Goal is to grow.
Gotta get greater growth.
I just talked to UPS. They've got expert advice, special discounts, new technologies, like smart pickups. They'll only show up when you print a label, and it's automatic. We save time and money.
Time? Money?
Time and money.
Awesome.
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 Awesome. Awesome. I love logistics.
It's time now for this week's Ask Coach Brey question presented by CBTS. This week's question comes from Pete from South Bend, a gentleman who attended the weekly Mike Brey radio show, which takes place each Thursday night at O'Rourke's Public House just south of the Notre Dame campus. Pete asked, Coach, how important is it for a potential recruit to be a winner in high school?
Oh, that's very important. That's a great question. You know, we're always looking at kids that have been part of winning programs, high school, their AAU program, that they're accustomed to winning and their bar is high.
Irish fans, if you would like to ask Coach Brey a question, all you have to do is log on to UND.com and click on Ask Coach Brey in the rotating boxes in the middle of the main page or the box on the Notre Dame men's basketball main page. Last season, now junior Austin Brey was earning more and more playing time when a heart ailment he first battled in high school came back. That issue has now been surgically repaired, and while Austin has not yet been able to earn back a spot in the regular rotation, he has appeared in 17 games this season and is one of the veterans Coach Brey depends on to stay ready to contribute at any time. As you were about to see, Austin was more than ready to handle my questions on this week's Inside Notre Dame Basketball Fast Break.
Favorite all-time movie?
Goodfellas.
First car you ever drove?
Beamer.
Get up early or sleep in?
Sleep in.
Who was your role model?
My father.
Favorite NBA player?
Paul George.
Favorite snack food?
Cheese.
Favorite sport to play other than basketball?
Baseball.
Favorite part of practice?
Stretching.
Worst part of practice?
Talking to Coach Lowe.
Best part of your game?
Three-point shooting.
Which is better, knocking down a long three or sending home a spectacular dunk?
Dunk for sure.
Favorite part of your trip to Italy?
Driving the Ferrari.
Player on the team most like you?
Steve Vastoria.
Best defender on the team?
Jaron Grant.
Best leaper on the team?
Austin Brey.
Best dunker on the team?
Matt Farrell.
Worst dresser on the team?
Steve Vastoria.
Best dresser on the team?
Eric Katenda.
Best comedian on the team?
Zach August.
Three-point shooting contest. Who wins? You or Coach Brey?
Me. I don't think Coach Brey can get it there.
A little bit of a challenge there.
You know, he's done a great job for us. I mean, he's not so much in the rotation right now, but this thing is always and changing. But he's been a great team guy, and he's been really part of our leadership this year.
And you can tell how much his teammates like him because they pooled their money to buy him that ride in the Ferrari on his birthday in Italy.
Very special. And last year, when we only had 6 guys in the postseason, he was the leader of that group to kind of reinvent ourselves and get started again.
When we come back, we'll take a look at another challenging week for the Irish. That includes Coach Brey's first visit back to Cameron Indoor Stadium for a game as a head coach since his first year at Delaware.
A couple of quizzes.
Dinner? I don't know. Oh, love that. Send me the recipe. You too, Mom.
Hey, Jake.
Hey, what are you doing?
We're just sitting down for dinner.
Perfect. Mind if I join you?
You did it.
Whenever you're close to Meijer, you're a little closer to home.
A financial institution is behind many of the milestones in your life. Pick one that sees you as more than just an account number. Own your dreams. Join a credit union today.
Going in there, it's going to be another huge game, and their crowd's going to be ready. But we like playing on the road. We lost our last road game, but before that, we've been playing with a lot of confidence, so we'll be ready.
We know it's going to be a tough atmosphere, but we got a lot of veteran guys. We got great leadership, so I think we go in there with a lot of confidence, and we know it's going to be a challenge, but we're excited and ready to accept it.
Not only has your team been unflappable this season, they have been very good in difficult road environments. But this one is a little different.
It is, and they flat out have embraced playing on the road. I think they love it. They love the challenge of it. But, this is a special place, and I think for our guys who are excited to play there, I think the big thing is to make sure you stay in character when the crowd is going. You don't play too fast. We have to really control tempo.
I mean, you're certainly used to all these years. It's natural for people to ask you what it was like to work for Coach K. You're 20 years in as a head coach now, so you've established your own identity and your own coaching chops. But still, for you to take a Notre Dame team back to that building where you had great success as a member of that staff, it's got to be kind of special.
Very, very proud to bring my program and this particular team into Cameron for a big-time matchup. With CBS and the Final Four crew calling the game, Rafferty, Grant Hill. It makes for a great matchup, and I'm really excited to see how our guys come out in that. I think we'll be ready to compete.
It's the marquee matchup in the country on Saturday, and as we tape this show, that's where your focus is. But I think certainly even Notre Dame fans don't realize that you go to Clemson on Tuesday, and this is a very good Clemson team that's also going to be fired up to see Notre Dame come to their building for the first time ever.
No question. Clemson is sneaking up the standings, and they're off the radar. They are slowly becoming an NCAA tournament team, and we play them twice here down the stretch. But playing in Littlejohn Coliseum, because I've been there before, when Clemson's really rolling, very difficult place to play.
Challenging week, fun week. Another 3 games in 7-day week. But after this, you got 5 games in 25. It really seems to be setting up well for you.
It does. It balances out. When we do need these bye weeks, the bye weeks are good because I can do 3 things. Number 1, recruit. Number 2, get our guys some rest. But then also get into a couple days in a row of good practice rhythm.
And that's critical for the continued development of any team. So we're looking forward to this week. We know you are as well. That will do it for this week's edition of Inside Notre Dame Basketball. We, of course, will have all the highlights of the road tests with Duke and Clemson on next week's show. Until then, for Coach Brey, I'm Jack Nolan. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, go Irish.
Inside Notre Dame Basketball with Mike Brey has been presented by TireRack.com and brought to you by Team Notre Dame members Gatorade, Under Armour, Coke Zero, and Sprint. Inside Notre Dame Basketball is also sponsored by ATI Physical Therapy, Bank of America, CBTS, Xfinity, Meijer, Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, Sirius XM Satellite Radio, and UPS.